Hello, everybody. This is Howard Klein, and I am with TKG ADR Mediation and Arbitration Services, as well as CREi Radio and TV. Today, as if you can't tell, we're going to be talking about CREi Summit. I think I did it wrong, or you guys did it. 2022. It's in New Orleans on September 15th and 16th. So let me introduce them, starting primarily with Ken Ashley. Ken, I took this from your page. As an advocate Ken is an advocate and advisor for companies who lease or own real estate. Ken has worked for 26 years. You're an old man, Ken. To help business leadership translate business strategy into real estate solutions. Good for you, Ken. Among other things, Ken is among less than 1% of practitioners nationally who have earned both the SIOR, CCIM, and MCR designations. I'm going to ask you what the MCR designation is
Okay.
later, Ken. Ken is a top 100 producer at Cushman and Wakefield and is regularly a top producer in the Atlanta marketplace and around the U.S. He is one of the top commercial real estate influencers and is founder of CREi Top Influencers on Social Media. Ken, it really is an honor to have you on my show.
My honor.
Next
Thank you.
is Linda Day Harrison. Linda is the founder of the Broker List and designed it to create efficiency and streamlined operations for the commercial real estate industry, property and facility management, leasing, and brokerage. That's a mouthful. Linda brings more than 30 years of professional commercial real estate experience to the Broker List. This is, frankly, an inadequate description of Linda. She is a tireless worker and supporter of the commercial real estate industry, and if I may add, an incredibly nice person. I added
Thanks,
the extra
Howard.
there.
Thanks, Howard.
I
It's
know
true.
Linda, yeah, I know Linda personally. And last but not least, we have Joe Killinger. Did I pronounce that correctly, Joe?
You sure did.
Great. Joe Killinger has been an active member in the real estate industry for many years, wearing different hats, and at times multiple hats. I should have taken my hat that I'm wearing in the UK. Over the years, he has been an agent, investor, syndicator, founder, and operator of companies, as well as properties that he invests in. His expertise has been developed over the past 30 years. During that time, he has been personally responsible for the sale of and/or directly involved in the marketing of over 5,900 assets. Wow. Resulting in closed transactions totaling over $900 million throughout the United States. That's pretty impressive, Joe.
I think you just made me sound old, Howard.
No, wait. I'm now about to describe me. So by describing me, I will make you sound young.
Okay.
Well, I am not Mr. Wonderful, but I've been involved in business longer than he has. I have served as general counsel for 4 different corporations. Why do I have to read this? Including a supermarket chain, 2 tech companies, and a large national educational institution. I now bring over 46 years, I'm going on 47, of experience as an attorney, real estate broker, and business person, as well as now a mediator and arbitrator. I'm also the founder and producer of CREi Radio and TV since 2010. So now you guys all sound young. So that's the intro. Why don't we get directly into the discussion? I was supposed to do the intro with everybody there. So there's Ken to, I don't know if you're looking at it, my right, Linda below me, and Joe over to the right of Linda. So Ken, why don't we now talk a little bit about the history of the summit?
Sure. Well, Howard, thank you so much for having us on today. It's an honor to be on your program, and I'm thankful to two of my partners for joining, but really there's more than a dozen of us who are volunteers who are trying to put this effort together. And I'll start by telling you what it is. CREi stands for Commercial Real Estate Influencer. And a lot of us believe that in a post-pandemic world, we're going to have to change the way that we're marketing ourselves as service providers. You know, the thought that you can call someone statistically on the day that they need you is almost none. There, you can't call someone at the right time. They have to remember you. And I think there are two parts to our business. One is, in addition to the execution, one is sales, which is speaking with the intent to convince, and the other is marketing, which is the branding and what they think about you. And so our community is a community of people who are interested in social media. Some are more active than others, and we're trying to learn best practices. It started, to your question about history, at the beginning of the pandemic. In March of 2020, I was calling people and checking in with folks, and had a nice conversation with Duke Long, who had curated a list previously. And we did a little bit of a handshake and transitioned the list. I didn't really realize what I got myself into. Putting together lists is actually a lot harder than you would imagine. But we did the first Twitter list, and it took off. It really did well. And the idea of recognizing people is something that spins my crank. I really enjoy it. And, Napoleon said one time, I've discovered the most amazing thing: a man will die for a nod. And what he meant by that is recognition is extremely powerful. And what we started hearing back from these lists were amazing things. People were getting better splits. They were getting promoted. They were getting bonused. Their lives were getting better because of a list, because we took the time to evaluate what people were doing and highlighting interesting people in our business. And then the second list happened, the LinkedIn list. And famously, Coy Davidson tweeted one night, "It sure would be nice if we could get together." And he later told me he just wanted to drink beer, Coy. But we hired an event planner. Jamie is terrific. And, we've just got the band together. We signed a contract at the first meeting at the Ritz in Lake Tahoe, and the second one will be this year in New Orleans. So really excited about it. And I want to say, if you are interested in learning more about how to brand yourself, about how to demonstrate thought leadership in your practice, this is for you. You don't have to be an expert, but you will be attending a master's class with people like you, like Joe, like Linda, and so many other great folks in our industry.
Outstanding. Linda, you have any comments? Whoops.
No, just that I was there last year, and it was extremely educational. It was a blast. It was just a wonderful opportunity to meet so many people that I've known for so many years that I've never met in real life. And I think that's key for me. I thought that, to be able to go to this event, and I knew the 100 and some people that were going to be there, that those people I was going to get to know. I was going to get to talk to them. I was going to get to meet them. And that to me was the most important, meeting those people. Granted, we'd all been pent up in the COVID world for a couple of years, and it was a way to break out. And I think this year is the same way. I don't think we've really broken out completely, and this is another opportunity to really meet people that are, they're making a difference in our industry. And they know a lot of people, and they want to help you, and they're very helpful to each other. And I think that I feel bad for people who are going to miss it. As I mentioned you, Howard, I'd love you to come. I know it's tough because you've had a family trip planned for a long time, a big trip. But I think you would have so much content, so much opportunity to interview people and do things to help, with what you're doing. If you can come, that would be great. But I am urging everyone to come or register to come to the event. So I'm behind it 500%.
I'd have too much fun if I was there. Seriously.
It is fun.
I would be among my people.
Right. Like-minded. I think that's the other side.
Oh, yeah.
Like Joe Killinger. I mean, he just last year, I was so impressed with Joe. He was so organized, and he had his schedule, and he had his people lined up, and he was running them through like a little, little mini factory there, just saying, okay, the next interview. And he took all that content and he shared it with us, which I loved because I got to learn even more about people because he did his in-depth interviews, and other people as well did a lot of content too. But I think that's really what it's about. You're around like-minded people and you get to use all these awesome things that you use every day at the event on social to, get the word out about all of us and bring more people into the fold.
So, Joe, obviously, first impressions are worth everything, so you got away with
Yeah,
it.
well, thank you for those kind words, Linda. But it's, I just saw an opportunity, and I was, Natalie Wainwright is the one that told me about it, and I'm a pretty shy person actually, and so I was like, I don't want to go someplace where I don't know anybody. She said, but you do know people, and she goes, you need to show up at this, and then she almost got violent when she says, you're going, and I'm like, okay, because if you know Natalie.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a threat or a promise, but I'm betting it was a promise. And so I went. And, what I saw was like, oh, wow, this is so much more than I expected. And people walk up and start talking to you because they've seen you on social for so long. And next thing you know, after a couple of days, you're leaving, and these are people that are probably going to be lifelong friends.
Right.
And, and the support. I mean, to be, today was a perfect example of being on the Zoom call with Melissa Alexander. Just met her last year at the event, and I think Ken's a typical startup story, right? I started this for one reason, and it started to take off, but now it's got some legs, and it's not just for influencers. This is for an industry that it needs to evolve, and this will help it evolve. And I think it's something that what's happening is a lot bigger than any of us. And, I know that Ken didn't need another job, but he probably, he's created something I can think single-handedly can evolve this industry. And it's where the industry is going.
Let me ask this. Yeah, let me ask this question. Who is this for? Who should be going to this, and what are they going to get out of it? Ken, you want to start with that, or Joe?
That wants to grow their business.
Yeah, it's for commercial real estate brokers is the list, but it's a good question, Howard, because we have just recently started to expand our thinking about the industry, and so I would say there are a couple of other categories of people. Real estate investors, our good friend Moses Keegan, who has developed quite a community. Is on the list, and so I think real estate investors. I know Joe is, and I think we are all real estate investors. I think another category would be people who help real estate folks market. So we have some really sharp folks in our midst who professionally sell marketing services. And then I think finally there would be success coaches like our good friend Rod Santamassimo, I hope can attend. And then real estate journalists will be there to cover the event. So it's grown. Initially, it was brokers, but I think all of those people would benefit.
But Ken, what about CEOs of commercial real estate companies? Think about
Good
that.
point.
They need to come to this event to learn what's something they need to be on their desk.
Right.
And I think a lot of them are like, oh, let marketing handle it. They don't understand what it is about. So I think executives and CEOs of companies should be urged to attend so they understand what this movement is.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's well said. And I had a conversation 2 weeks ago with a significant CEO in this industry who was planning to attend.
He's signed up. He's attending.
He's attending. He's coming. And the other thing that was kind of interesting, Howard, we didn't sort of push for this, but I guess it's just the way our community works. About 40% of the attendees last year were female, and we have a lot of diversity in the attendance of Black and brown skinned people, which I'm very proud of. So I think it's a terrific group.
Yeah,
that's
good question,
great.
Howard.
Yeah, the industry has been kind of slow to residential real estate agents and brokers were very fast to adopt social media to market themselves, but commercial real estate, not so much. I've been doing this now since 2010. And I've been surprised at how slow everyone has been to catch up with what I've been doing. I think the pandemic has kind of helped the video along. And frankly, there are people out there now who I think are just killing it and doing a far better job than me. So,
well, I have a comment to make that, if you let me on this, Howard, I don't mean to interrupt, but I learned something today so profound that never even entered my mind. On our clubhouse call, we do a clubhouse call every Friday called CREi Happy Hour. And on the call today, we were talking about the CREi Summit. And somebody brought this up, and I just went, oh, I mean, it just kind of hit me. She said, well, you realize that a lot of people at their companies, a lot of the big companies, they don't let their employees do whatever they want on social media. And I just, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And I didn't realize, she said, you don't know how strict some of them are. She said, a lot of the big companies are restricting people into what they can do, what they can say, how they can say it, relating themselves with their brands. I'm like, wow, okay. So I can imagine that a lot of people who are working for those bigger companies, they should come to this because they're pretty sheltered. They're clueless. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're not even getting a chance to get into this side of promotion or marketing or networking and creating a brand for their own personal presence, because they're behind a company that is saying, you got to do this, you got to do that, you can't do this. So they're kind of walking a weird line, which I never thought about. Ken, you're with a big company. What is your opinion of it? I just heard that today from 12:30 to 1:30. We were talking about it.
Well, I think, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, that you do need to be brand congruent with your company. I think if I ran a real estate company, I would want my brokers to understand who we are and what our culture is. And maybe in another time, I have a system where I sort of governs what I will and won't say in social media, because
right.
I guess I'd say, Linda, it's like fire. A nice fire on a winter evening is a wonderful thing, but it can also burn your house down. So we're a very powerful medium, so we just got to be careful.
Yeah. Not everybody is capable of putting that little governor on themselves. And right. I think that's what the big companies are afraid of, is that, you hear some horror stories, right. And even the best of us can say something wrong.
Right.
So,
right. And a lot of them today said, they also have big marketing departments that are strict, that say this is what we do and that kind of thing. So I don't know.
They want to retain control.
Right. And then there's the small companies, which is probably like the wild, wild west. They probably let the brokers, just go crazy.
Yeah. Why don't we move on? And let's talk about Linda. We're not going to be talking about Linda, but I could spend the whole day talking about Linda.
No thanks.
But we're going to move on. And Linda, why don't you tell us a little bit about the day one agenda, the speakers and the topics?
Well, I think from the whole beginning of the summit, when you get there, it is like an excitement like no other. It's like going to a high school reunion or college reunion, and you are just so excited to see people in the flesh, in real life. It's going to kick off with everybody meeting in the hotel lobby. There's some things I can't reveal, some exciting, fun things they're going to do. That's going to be from 9:30 to 11. Then we're going to have opening remarks at 11:30. Then we have a fabulous keynote. I think people are going to walk away with an incredible impression and a mind-changing experience hearing Poonam Sharma talk about her topic, which is called the Ultimate Permission Slip, which I think is going to be, really a wonderful presentation. Then we're going to have a presentation by the super well-known, loved and admired and sought after CREi Bob. CREi Bob is fabulous with social media. She's going to make a really good presentation in the afternoon. Then this person, if you don't know him, you better know him. His name's Kyle and Sarah. He is, to me, as far as I'm concerned, he's like the top person in the restaurant industry in our field in commercial real estate. And he is so well known for his TikTok expertise. He's also wonderful with Instagram and LinkedIn and Twitter as well. But he is considered like the guru of TikTok. That's going to be a fun presentation you're not going to want to miss. And then we're going to break, and then we're going to do some more talking about digital marketing. And then we've got, which I think is going to be incredible, an incredible speaker, Jeremy Bergstein, who's going to talk about the metaverse, which you will not want to miss that. That is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. Sarah Malcolm promises we are just going to be, our heads are going to be spinning after we hear from Jeremy. So that's just day one. So I don't know if that's enough to get you excited. And of course, cocktail party and dinner, and just rubbing elbows with everybody like-minded in this space.
Outstanding. So let's talk about the day 2 agenda. And Ken, why don't you start with that?
Sure.
And then Joe and Linda, you can throw some information. And why don't you add, what is it that you're excited about?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about both days for sure. We have something that's, well, first of all, we doubled the size. We went from 1 day to 2 days of content. So it's a great value. And day 2, we start with Create, Hydrate, and Caffeinate. So both Joe and Linda are on a large panel. And what we hear from people is they want to get involved in social media, but as we just discussed a second ago, what do you say? How do you say it? So there's nothing like learning to swim when you just jump in the pool. So this is the equivalent of jumping in the pool. Groups will rotate around into different areas of the room, and we'll create live content right there. Then we have a series of breakout sessions and a panel on technology driving business change with some great folks who are leaders in the prop tech area. And we really curate sponsors and our friends in prop tech that can support what all of us are trying to do business-wise in this community, and they will be there. And then finally, we will have Dr. Nate Zinsser, who has written a book called The Confident Mind. Dr. Zinsser is the psychologist of West Point, and I'm in the middle of his book now. It's fascinating. He talks about the science of confidence, and he helps military leaders and sports. I mean, he's got some amazing sports professionals that he's helped develop greater self-confidence. And so in times of a mission of great danger, or in a game where stakes are really high, how do you keep your confidence high? This guy does it at West Point, and he's going to share his secrets with us in New Orleans.
Outstanding. Joe, you have anything else to add at this point?
Absolutely. The one thing that I loved about it, all the speakers were great last year, but the breakout sessions where you could be almost, it felt like you were one-on-one with somebody that was a leader. Like I missed Carrie Bobs, which I made up for. I did a call after we got back, so I pinned her back down, but because she's absolutely one of the best in the industry. But Michael Bull, I sat right in front and just listened to him talk, and I ended up having him on my show. But you get prior to the summit last year, I was just studying all the time, trial and error. I go to this and I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. And because that's what I was started to see was going to work. It shaved years off what I'm trying to do just by being there for that one day. And this time we get 2 days of it. So, it'll be, I was trying to figure everything out last year. And so I had a lot of questions, and it really led me down the right path. It put me in touch with the right people that I could pick up the phone and they'll talk to you about what they're doing, whether it be Kyle or Eddie on TikTok, or CREi on Instagram, and these people they're top of the industry of what they're doing, and you get to sit and talk to them, and they will actually take time to set up a call and have a conversation with you. It's impressive.
Yeah, this kind of conference, well, I haven't been there. This is the kind of thing where when you meet people, you start creating these bonds. I mean, a lot of us may have already established bonds online, and Linda and I could talk about that. But then when you finally meet people, it takes it to the next level. Probably, from my perspective, the best part of this kind of summit is the excitement you have in what you're going to be doing when you leave. So when you leave, you're like, oh, I can't wait to do all this. And I've been in similar situations, and that I don't think you can overstate the value in that. So why don't we move on a little bit more? Who would like to give some of the logistics, such as the date, the location, some of the hotel arrangements, if any, etc.? Okay, if no one raises their hand.
I can try, but I know Ken's
Okay.
more knowledgeable, but I can try.
Go ahead,
Well,
Linda.
it's going to be in New Orleans. It's going to be on September 15th and 16th. I know quite a few of us are going early and quite a few of us are staying longer because we're going to make a trip of it. The venue is the JW Marriott, which is an incredible location in New Orleans. Very, very high end, but affordable. Ken made it very affordable. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the room rate is like $209 a night, which, come on, Howard, that's not bad.
In today's day and age, that's downright cheap.
Yes.
Isn't that the one that's right next to the French Quarter?
Yeah, it's on Canal Street. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I used to stay there when I used to go to New Orleans on business all the time. You go out the back end of the hotel, and all of a sudden you're drinking hurricanes and stuff.
Right. And we didn't even touch on, we're doing a booze cruise, which is going to be a blast. That's going to be Friday night. There's fun stuff that's weaved in as well. We didn't really get into that as much, but there's a lot of things you can do, of course, in New Orleans. And the booze cruise is Friday night, and that's going to be, right now we have one boat full, and we started a waiting list for the second boat. So we're going to see if we can fill 2 boats with people. And it's just going to be a beautiful time to be there. I think the weather's going to be fantastic. And I think it's not a bad location as far as travel. I think it's a pretty easy ride from the airport to the venue. Most of the stuff we're doing during the day will include our snacks and food. Ken, you could probably chime in on this as far as the ticket, including that. And then the rest of the time, of course, you're on your own. But the evening activities, I believe we can bring our spouses to some. Some are part of the ticket price. So it's kind of a mix of things. I know a lot of people are bringing spouses. So, and it's fun. It's fun to bring your spouse to something. I mean, in my life, you know how I am with John Howard. He's my rock. He's my support. He backs me up.
That's another great person.
Thank you, Howard. But you know, Ken and his wife, and Joe and his wife. I mean, those are our support people. So it's fun to take them somewhere where they can meet all these people that we talk to every day and meet them in person.
Well, Linda, now I've got a problem because I don't have a wife. So now I got to get one in 6 weeks.
I'm sorry, Joe. I thought you were bringing your wife.
Well, if you're going to be in the French Quarter, you can find a substitute.
Maybe you'll meet one in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Ken, what were you going to say, Ken?
Yeah, you said it well. So the hotel is a great bargain at $209. I mean, you almost can't stay in Des Moines for that. So it's a great deal. And so let's talk about the value of the ticket. So it's only $999 plus some junk fees, and about half the cost is offset by our sponsor partners. So you're getting a great deal for these 2 keynotes, and included is, as Linda said, is lunch, snack, dinner, breakfast, lunch. The second day. With regard to plus ones, we would love for you to bring a friend or a significant other to New Orleans. We're going to ask that conference attendees attend official events, and then afterwards we can hang out with spouses. We've debated this. It's not really a cost issue. It's just, you're paying some money and you're investing time to be there, and we want to make sure that we're networking with people who are conference attendees. So, we're walking kind of a line there. The other thing that I'm excited to announce, and this is the first time, Howard, you're breaking news here, is that we've got a new program called CREi Scholars. It will fill up quickly, but if you're interested in being scholarshiped, and here are the requirements: less than 5 years in the business, a full-time commercial real estate broker who at least is somewhat active in social media, You can fill out, there is an application, and our good friend Tiffany Ryland at Arvo Realty is chairing that. But if you want to send me an email, I know Howard will put that up. If you're a young person, we've got 5 opportunities for you to be scholarshiped your ticket. You still have to buy your airplane ticket. You still have to pay for your hotel room, but we can make this more affordable for 5 folks this year.
Oh, that's great. Can we? Is it appropriate to mention some of the people who are going to be attending that many people might be aware of?
Wow. I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, everybody I know is going to be there. I mean, Sarah Malcolm's going to be there. Casey Flannery's going to be there. Melissa Alexander's going to be there. Kyle and Sarah's going to be there. Carrie Bob's going to be there. Oh gosh, don't let me forget names, Ken. Natalie Wainwright's going to be there. I mean, I can't think of anybody that I know that I socialize with all day on social that's not going to be there.
Well, let me name some others.
God.
Some of the old people that go back my time. Michael Bull, is he going to be there this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's
Michael,
great.
and he is bringing a significant other. Yeah, Michael's going to be
Great.
there. I mean, thank you, Howard. I'm sorry to be caught off guard. I wish I had a list in front of me because it's a
Coy
lot.
Davidson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coy Davidson. I mean, oh my God, I'm so sorry if I didn't say your name on here because I've caught off guard.
No, that's okay. It's like winning
Elizabeth
an award.
Wilkie,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff and Elizabeth.
Michael Lagazzo, Michael Arnold.
Michael. Yes.
Oh gosh,
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
you're making me want to go.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny, Howard, but I can't.
No,
I'm
no.
trying to think. It's like
Jessica
everybody.
Mizrahi, John Orr, Marissa
Yes.
Lamasco, Greg Katz.
Yeah.
I think Yandel Wood may. I hope he's coming.
Yandel will be there. Josh Feinberg will be there. Tons of the sponsors, Ken. The guys from Tenant Base are coming, right?
The guys from Tenant Base will be there. We have a top sponsor this year, and our good friends at CoStar, and they have not announced who the team is that's going to be attending, but we're excited to partner with CoStar this year for sure. And we'll announce some other sponsors very shortly. We've got 6 or 7, and we're working out final arrangements now.
Right. We've got Tiffany Ryland. We've got, oh my God,
Kyle and Sarah.
DeLay Becker. Oh my gosh.
Eddie Gonzalez.
Kenesha
the list is pretty much
Robinette.
anybody that's top in their asset class in a market, they're going to be there.
Yeah,
There's a
I mean,
reason they're top in market
right.
in their asset class.
Yeah.
And I guess we can say who the CEO who's attending. I'll give him some props. Jay Olshansky, who is the CEO of NAI, is going to attend. And I got to tell you, Jay is a super smart guy. He's a CEO who gets it. He's active in social media. And Howard, just a word about competitors coming together. I believe that is a healthy thing. I believe that there's no college course where you can learn this particular subject matter. It's very fast moving. And I think the competitive issue is not the idea, it's the execution. And so the idea that I would see any of you in the hall, or as Joe said, pick up the phone and we'd help each other is a good community building kind of exercise. So don't worry about hanging out with someone that's flying a different flag at a different shop. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
I did an interview with Michael Arnold last year at the event, and it's had some pretty good. It was an office in LA. He picked up a very nice sized client off that, and he called me, and I got a nice thank you out of it. And, we have our own commercial brokerage company here, and I was like, I wonder what my agents are going to think about that. And they go, that's awesome. I need to do more videos. So I think it really speaks to there's plenty of business for everybody.
Yes.
And anybody in this group is not out to, everybody's here to enhance the experience of being in our industry.
Yeah, a couple of years.
It started on down, that's what this is about.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I helped host a CREi tech event in Los Angeles, and I spoke for about 5 minutes, which is difficult for me to only speak for 5 minutes. But my point was there were a lot of tech competitors out there, and I said, guys, get together. Do not think of yourself as competitors. You can all learn from each other. And in social media, that's probably one of the key issues is give yourself to others. I've always held that position. Linda has always been that way. If you're reaching out and helping other people, it'll come back to you. And even if it doesn't, who cares?
Right.
The point is, so I've always held myself out. If you want to learn something about, live streaming or something like that, please give me a call. You couldn't shut me up telling you as much as I can. I've learned.
Well,
Hey,
I
Howard,
think. Go ahead, Ken.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure, as I think about the people that are going to be there, I was just running through my head. The person who has given great leadership to putting together our program is Sarah Malcolm, and I really want we've got a lot of people that are doing yeoman's work behind the scenes in a volunteer capacity, but she is amazing. She's a mom of 2 young kids, has a very successful marketing agency and a lot going on. So, Sarah, if you're watching this, we're very thankful for you.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to Kristen Ginty. There's just so many, Howard. I'm embarrassed because I wish I had the list in front of me. But I want to say thank you so much to you, Howard, for doing this for us. And
Here.
I mean, I can't thank you enough. And I also want to say I hope we've converted you into maybe coming. Anyway, I know it's difficult, but we would love you to be there.
It might be a little difficult, but
you're part of the gang, and it's not a clique. It's everybody. It's not just certain people. It's everybody's included. And I can't thank you enough for hosting Ken and Joe and I. And I think it was
obviously
a great
my pleasure. Why don't we close? Go ahead, Linda. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and I just want to say, I hope you can finish it so we can publish it.
Yeah,
Let's get it out there.
This is like, I don't have to edit this. This is perfect the way it is.
Please don't edit anything.
Now, Ken, why don't you tell everyone how they can get a hold of you and add to that where people should go to sign up for the summit?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Howard. So you can go to www.CREisummit.com, or you can Google it. It'll pop up, and make sure you get your hotel room through the summit page to get that great rate. And if you want to get a hold of me, hopefully I'm pretty easy to find, ken.ashley@cushwake.com, or just Google. This is a small community, and I would love to hear from you if you have questions. If you're on the fence about attending this, you can talk to any one of us. You can see the emails there on the screen. As Joe said earlier, people have taken the time to take calls, and help each one of us, and I'm happy to return the favor to you. So call me. I'll return your call.
Great. Yeah. Joe, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, you've got my email. Well, one of my emails up there. I need to cut them down. I got a lot of them, I guess. Or my direct line is 310-943-8542. If you have any questions, I'm here to help, or I'll get you directed to the right path.
And Linda, how do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me anywhere on any social media platform there is at the broker list, which is super easy. Of course, my email address, and you can call me anytime, 312-671-2400, and I'm always available to people. I'm always willing to help. So I really want to see you at the summit. I want to meet you in person.
Great. And I am Howard Klein. You can reach me at howard@tkgadr.com. And here comes the consideration that I get, is the shameless promotion. If you have a real estate issue and dispute, it's good to try to resolve it inexpensively, or at least less expensively than litigating it. You ought to either mediate it or arbitrate it. So if you're interested, give me a call. Everyone, thank you very much. This is a wrap.
Thank you, Howard.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Thank you. You're amazing.
Perfect time.